friends, welcome back to my channel. For this video, I'm going to be doing a recap of my 2020 planner lineup, and this video is going to be just planners. So if you're interested in my journal recap, definitely stick around and subscribe. I also have a playlist called 2020 lineup, and that playlist contains all the videos I made this year about my lineup, my setups, any journal or planner updates that I posted. It's all in that playlist, so I will also link that down below. So overall, I think I've had a pretty good 2020 as far as planners go. I know this year's been a really weird one, but I'm really glad that I had my planner system to help me through it, because I don't know what I would do without my planners. I started the year off with a Starbucks planner, and I'm happy to report that I stuck to the same planner all throughout 2020. And this planner has gotten really chunky over the course of the year. If I were to just leave my planner out open like this, it is that chunky. So that's really fun to look at. I really like decorating my pages at the end of the week. I just find that to be a really relaxing activity to cap off the end of the week. And I've posted a video before on how exactly I use this planner, and that video is still up to date for the most part. So I have my tasks and appointments on the left side here with the dates, and then on the right is where I have my tracker, and I also started doing a next actions list. The way I've used this planner hasn't changed too much since the very beginning. So just to give you an example, here's a spread from January, and I kept my tasks and appointments on the left side of my planner, and then I had my tracker and other notes on the right side. And if you flip to the current week, it's still about the same. Some things have changed, but for the most part, not much. And I've gotten very comfortable with this system. I really like having the dates on this side now, and then having the right side be whatever I need it to be. So before, I used a simple chore tracker to track just a couple of things, and now I'm using a much more comprehensive tracker. This is a freebie from Sterling Inc. If you join her Facebook group, you'll be able to grab this freebie every month. And I started using this in June, I believe. Yep, so this was my very first tracker from her, all the way back in June. I've also started doing a next actions list on my notes page in my planner, just to follow the getting things done method a little bit more properly, because I used to put all of my tasks on the left side of my planner. Going back again, all the way in May, I think. Yeah, here's a page for May, and as you can see, I'm just overflowing on the left side of the page, because I used to write down every single thing I did on that day. This was around the time that I started the Fly Lady method of maintaining my home, and so I'm still trying to get used to that at this point in time, and trying to find a schedule and routine that would work for me. When big changes like that happen in my schedule and my routine, I tend to just log everything I do on that day. And looking back now, this page might look really aesthetically pleasing to look at. It makes me look so productive and organized, but I remember at the time I was so intimidated looking at this page, because there was so much to do in one day. But I powered through it. I just took it one task at a time, and eventually I did fall into a routine that I was comfortable with, to the point where I no longer felt the need to track everything I did. Since it was already part of my routine and it's become a solid habit of mine, I didn't feel the need to write all of it down. So if you take a look at last week's spread here, it's a lot more spacious compared to this spread. There's a lot less writing, but I wasn't any less productive. I got a lot of things done last week, actually, despite the fact that I had a migraine. At this point in time, I'm a lot more clear on what I'm supposed to do as the week goes on, and I'm a lot less reliant on my planner for the daily things like doing housework and all that. I still do like to track it, just so I have a log of what I did that week, because some things do tend to fall by the wayside. So nothing much has changed too much as far as my main planner goes. I'm really happy with the Starbucks planner. I think it served me well this year, and I'm going to be using it again for 2021, and I've already made an entire video about that. So you can check that out as well. Everything I mentioned will be down below. And by the way, this is the cover that I'm using right now. This is the Moterm A5 cover in their old black croco. I also ordered their new black croco, the one with the larger scales and the flatter scales in the A5 size. I'm really excited to get it. I really like using Moterm's covers for my Starbucks planner because this is actually a moleskin planner, and so it is slimmer than an A5, and since Moterm is more compact than the Giglio A5 Appunto or the VDS A5 Codex, it fits the Starbucks planner really nicely. So if you're looking for a relatively affordable cover for your moleskin planner or your Starbucks planner, I definitely recommend Moterm. So this is my main planner, the Starbucks planner. Nothing much has changed. It is my very, very stable companion that I love so much, and I don't see myself straying from this planner anytime soon. The one planner that's undergone a lot of change over the year would be my second planner. Right now it is a social media notebook. I used to have dated inserts in this planner, but I decided to just take it all out and do all of my dated tasks and appointments on my main planner. And this is just more of a brainstorming notebook, a sketchbook, a design book. When I want to, for example, draw out a wireframe for a web page that I want to build, or mind map a concept that I'm struggling to put into words, or outline a video that I'm working on, it all goes in here. So it is very messy, and I haven't even finished setting this up. This is why I haven't done a video on this planner, because it takes me like 1,000 years to set up a planner. I do have a dashboard here in the front. This is just a public domain vintage image that I printed on a piece of vellum. I haven't even written down my name on this dashboard here. And then in the back, I have this other vintage printout on a piece of vellum. And that's it. That's all I've done for this planner. But that's okay, because that's all just deco. What matters is the core of the planner, right? The contents. So again, lately I've been using this for my social media. So here are the tabs that I've been using. I have a reference tab. This is for information that I want to keep handy, like the color settings for my video editor, audio settings, the presets that I use for my Visco app. And then the ideas tab here is basically the inbox for all of my video ideas, Instagram ideas. If I want to sketch out like a web page design, I put it in the ideas tab. And then my projects tab is for the ideas that I've officially processed and decided that yes, I want to go through with this. I move those things onto the projects tab so that I can flesh out that idea even more and turn it into a proper piece of content or whatever else. And then my outlines tab is for videos that I know I want to be more structured than just sitting down here and chatting. So for example, I recently posted a video on getting things done, and I knew I wanted that video to be very structured and organized and relatively easy to follow. And so I really wanted to be on point and not meandering too much. So I decided to outline what I wanted to say. And as you can see, it's very messy. This isn't meant to be for posting on social media. This is just for me. It's quite a long outline. Which one's this one? Oh, this is for my journal rut outline. Is it? Yeah, okay, so how to get out of a journal rut. And as you can see, this is not pretty at all. I'm not even using proper lined inserts for some of them. These are inserts that I don't really care for, so I decided to just put it in here and outline on them. I don't intend to keep these inserts once I need to free up some space on this planner. So then once I have my outline ready, what I do is I just keep it out of the camera's frame, or maybe here. Sometimes you'll see a peek of the planner on some of my videos so that I have my outline handy while I'm talking. And I really like that system for videos that are more informational than just sitting here and, you know, telling you guys about my planners. And then the notes page here is just for general notes that I want to write down. And this can be for anything. It doesn't have to be for social media. It can just be if I'm on a phone call and I need to jot something down and this planner happens to be the one closest to me, I'll just grab this and scribble something on the back of my planner and process it later in my weekly review. So that is the current iteration of this secondary planner that I have. It wasn't always like this. So at the beginning of the year, this was actually my getting things done planner. And my tabs was something like inbox, someday maybe, and then I think I had a financial tab and a meal planner. I have since moved all of those onto a digital app. So I'm going to be pulling out my tablet here because my old phone is currently out of commission. So all of those things live in my Google Keep now, and I just find that easier to manage than writing it all down. And I really like having my GTD modules on the screen like this, because what I do is I can prop up my screen like this, or if it's on my phone, I can just prop up my phone, and I have the screen handy while I do my planning on my Starbucks planner, so I can write things down, take a look at my screen, write more things down. And I find it to be a very smooth setup for me, where I don't have to constantly flip through pages and get lost, and that just feels clunky to me. I like my planning process to be very streamlined, and I find this to be very streamlined for me personally. I've also used my second planner as an excuse to try other sizes in the past. So I started the year off with a personal size, as I mentioned before, and then I moved to a pocket size because I also wanted to try that, and I really enjoyed that size. But by that point I knew that my second planner setup wasn't working out for me, and so I changed things up, and I eventually landed on a system that I really enjoy. So for my second planner, I went back to a personal size. I also briefly tried out the Franklin Covey compact size, and I like that size too, but I did eventually settle with the personal size just because a lot more planners can fit those inserts, and I can easily buy these inserts on Amazon or Aliexpress. And then as far as having two planners go, I found a way to make having two planners work for me, because I've always struggled with juggling multiple planners in the past, but I finally figured out a way that works for me. So first, I took out all of the dated inserts on my second planner, and I moved all dated tasks onto my main planner. So my personal planner isn't necessarily a calendar anymore. There are no dated inserts on this planner, but I still do consider it a planner because I plan in it. I plan my videos, I plan my other creative projects, so this is still very much a planner. There's just no calendar because all of that is in my main planner. So that was one of the biggest changes I made that helped make the system work for me. And then the other change I made is I assigned a clear role in the way I use these two planners. So if you look at my two planners side by side, you'll see that this is quite messy. It's not even properly decorated set up. I use a mishmash of inserts, and there's really no real rhyme and reason to the inserts that I use. I just picked up whatever ones I found and stashed it in here. And then my Starbucks planner, you can tell I put a lot of effort into this one because it's very neat. I have deco on my covers. I decorate the pages. But it's not that I want this to be decorated and pretty. It's more like I needed a planner where I can be messy in, and then I needed a planner where I can be organized in. And to elaborate on that, I find that when I'm trying to do creative work, whether it's working on an outline or sketching out a wireframe or things like that, I feel quite constrained by a structured dated planner like this. Even if I were to use the back pages, there's just something about having a really messy page on this planner that I don't like. I feel restricted by the bound format. I worry that what if my ideas just don't fit into this planner because there aren't enough pages. That's why I use rings for my second planner, because I can always take out pages and add more if I needed more pages. And that is also why I allow myself to be messy with my second planner, because I don't want my creativity to be constrained by all of these boxes and forms on my main planner. I just really need a blank canvas to visualize what I'm trying to create. And that's what my second planner mainly is for. It's for my creative work. And that is what my messy planner is for. And my main planner is for my neat planning. And I don't mean neat to be aesthetically pleasing or Instagram friendly. What I mean by that is, while my second planner is great for creative work, it's not very good for task management. If I were to look at a planner and it looks like this, it just looks really messy and jumbled to me. Like, where am I even supposed to look at with this? I can barely read my handwriting. I don't know which tasks I've done and which ones I haven't. It's just really messy. This kind of spread isn't meant for task management. This is for letting my creativity flow. And then my neat planner is where I actually organize all of my tasks, because everything is arranged neatly, everything is boxed in, everything has a proper place. So I take all of the creative work I put on my second planner and then properly organize them into my main planner in these neat little rows, and that's what helps me get things done and helps me move my projects forward. So that is how these two planners work together and synergize to ultimately help me be productive and also help me find fulfillment in the creative front. So I hope that all made sense. I hope I got my point across clearly. If you want any clarifications or if you have any questions for me, please let me know down below. I would be more than happy to explain exactly how this works. And then as far as my current personal planner goes, I am also using a Moterm planner. This one is the black lychee leather, and I am using 25mm rings. All of my planners today are actually from Moterm. This is also a Moterm A7 planner in their old red leather. So this pocket planner is my wallet. In the middle of the year, I decided to properly assign my planner sizes into roles. So my personal planners became my second planners, and then my pocket planners became my wallet. And that's because I needed a small wallet to fit my personal bag, which is already quite small. So it wasn't going to fit a personal planner. So I had to use a pocket planner for practicality. And my setup for my wallet hasn't changed very much over the year. I still have my wallet insert from Thread and Print, and then I kept a notes section for things like doctor's notes, or if I needed to jot down a phone number, an address, anything like that. This is a very simple setup. I did intend to make my notes section more organized as far as a contact section, a list section, but that never happened. It was very low on my priority list, if I'm being honest, because this was already working for me. The dividers and all that, it's just deco and aesthetic. I don't need that to have a functional planner wallet, so I wasn't too torn up about that. I did run with a personal size wallet sometime in the year, but ultimately I really like having a pocket size for my wallet. I did recently buy the Filofax Mini Malden, but my wallet insert for that still hasn't arrived, so I'm still waiting on that. So that was a recap of my planners for 2020. I've been pretty happy with my journey this year. I don't think I switched too much. Again, I stuck with the same Starbucks planner for my main planner throughout the year, and I'm really happy I did, because I bought it, I paid for it, and I would have felt really bad if I were to jump out of this 3 months in. There was a time in July where I did One Book July, so I wasn't using this planner for July, I was using a bullet journal. But when I was doing One Book July, I did miss using my Starbucks planner, so I was really happy to jump back in after July was over, and I'm just really happy that I stuck to my planner for the entire year. I'm the type of person who identifies as a finisher, as my pen friend Devin would say. I have a history of suffering through things just to say that I finished them, no matter how hard it gets, because I don't like leaving things incomplete. I don't like leaving things unfinished. That's just not my personality type. If I feel like I quit something too soon, it really bothers me. That mentality, I guess, bled into my planners, because there were times where I felt bored with my Starbucks planner, but I still stuck to it because it's good for 1 year, so I need to see it through. And that's another reason why I use rings for my second planner, because I didn't want that kind of pressure on my second planner. So I wanted it to be undated, and I wanted it to be modular. And then of course my planner wallet is also rings, just so I can move around these notes pages. I don't see myself changing my planning system anytime soon. I've become really comfortable with the system. I know what to do with each one. I believe every planner has a purpose, and there's really no reason for me to change things up or add things or or take things out. As much as I love planners and as much as I am tempted to try new ones, like I'm always looking at Hobonichi and Passion Planner, but as much as I love the idea of having those planners, I just can't seem to find a place for them in my planner system. And if that's the case, then I clearly don't need those planners. So I'm just going to continue admiring them from afar and sticking with the system that I have now. And going forward, I will just keep my planning system interesting to me by constantly changing out the covers. I am a bit of a planner collector, so there's that. So that's it for my planner recap. I hope this was helpful or interesting. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know down below. Watch out for my journal recap video that should be coming very soon. Thank you so much for watching. This is Baba Notes, and I'll see you next time. Bye!